In this video, I'll be covering my 2024 hunts for a Columbia Blacktail buck here in California. I'll be covering my hunts from the archery season into the general season. Today's Friday. Tomorrow's the opening day of California archery deer season. Hiking in early, trying to do some scouting. Got to my glassing spot. I'm just gonna sit here and get glass all morning and see if I find the buck to chase tomorrow. Alright, well, I managed to glass out 3 bucks. Gonna watch them and see what they do. Alright, well, I just saw like 6 or 7 different bucks. There were probably 2 spike bucks in there. Most of them were 2x2s, and there was one 3x2, I think. But yeah, something spooked them, and they all just ran for cover. Saw like first light glassing. Turned up a 4x4 buck yesterday in the evening, so I'm hoping I can find him again. That was an exciting first morning. Glassed up by 3x3. Saw him feeding downhill, so I had to cut across, trying to cut him off. Yeah, by the time I got over there, he had already fed past me and I didn't see him, but I saw another 2x2 further up from him, and it was slowly working his way downhill towards me. So I just sat in a bush, tried to do an ambush on that 2x2, but I think eventually he caught a glimpse of me. He didn't full on run, but he knew something was up, so didn't feel comfortable. He started walking off in the opposite direction. And since I didn't see that 3x3 yet, I didn't hear him run out of the brush or anything. So I just chilled in that bush, waiting for him to potentially show up. But eventually I saw him run towards me. So he had already fed downhill past me, and then he was running uphill. He stopped right in my shooting lane at 55 yards. And I drew back. He was looking at me. I think he maybe saw my movement when I was drawing back, because after that he started running off in the opposite direction. Anyways, that's my morning. Got to put a stalk and ambush on 2 deer, so it was exciting. Alright, well, Sunday evening now. No luck today. This morning I spooked a 2x2 buck when I was still hunting through an area. But other than that, I haven't been able to find any more bucks. Glassing didn't turn up any bucks I could put a stalk on. And yeah, this evening I was glassing and working around this one area and couldn't find any deer. So yeah, that's it for this weekend. And, I'll come back in a few weeks to try again. Tried to put a stalk on that 4x4 buck, and then probably got about 150 yards away from him before I had to dip down into a drainage area. Lost sight of him. And as I was working my way up towards the spot I wanted to set up on him, the wind didn't feel right. It felt like if I got any closer, it was going to blow my wind towards him. So I decided to back out, try and get eyes on him again, but yeah, I lost him. So I'm back to glassing, trying to find him again. Alright, well, glassed up a buck quite a ways away. I think he's a 2x2 buck. He's not the 4x4 I've been hoping to chase, but I'll go after it. He's in a good spot. He's in the shade. I think he'll be better there for a few hours, so I got time to work over there. Alright, let's see if I can make something happen this evening. I'm about 150 yards away from where I saw this bedded buck. Right now I'm just cooling off in the shade, preparing a small bag for my final stalk in on this buck. I gotta be ready to potentially just sit out in the sun for a few hours. So I want to make sure I cool down, reapply sunscreen, drink some more water, whatever. I'm working slowly. If I don't get him in his bed, I might get him feeding in the brush just downhill of me. So I gotta take it slow. Stock did not work out. Conditions were great. I got 40 yards from his bed, and then he got up, started feeding, cutting to about 30 yards away from me. But I could not see his vitals. The brush here is just too tall. So I tried to move a little bit to my left to try and get an opening. But then he heard me and popped his head up. I froze. Hope he was going to look away or something, but yeah, maybe 20 seconds of staring at me, he decided to run off, and that's it. So frustrating. All right, well, we're into general season now. I skipped the opening weekend because I didn't want to deal with the crowds, but yeah, I'm out here now, so can see if I can kill a buck this weekend. A small buck shedding his velvet. I don't know if I want to go after him or look for another one. I decided to pass on this buck as my weekend hunt had just begun and I was hoping to find a bigger buck. After spending the rest of Friday and Saturday morning glassing different areas and trying to find a bigger buck, I decided to hike up into a different spot to glass into some different hillsides, and then I spotted a buck below me. So due to the tall brush here, I could only see this buck's head and neck. And as I was uncomfortable taking a shot at his neck, I was waiting for it to walk out so I could get a shot at his vitals. Buck down. I just got my second buck. I was losing hope, honestly. I was glassing an area that I never glassed before, and then just below me, 50 yards away, this buck is feeding. I got set up. The wind wasn't great. It was blowing towards him, but luckily it didn't blow downhill to him. And I just waited until I had a decent opening. Then once I could finally see his shoulder through some of this brush, made my shot. He went down. He's like not even 2 yards away from where I shot him. Oh my God. I had a great archery season. That was a lot of fun. But I just want to tag out. So yeah, I'm glad I got my buck. Alright, well, yeah, if you're new to hunting, you didn't know, before you do anything with a deer, you're supposed to fill your tag. So I'm gonna do that right now. So many thorny plants around here. All right, well, here he is, my 2024 California Blacktail buck. Small 2x2. I think I got lucky with this guy. Glassed a lot of areas that I'd seen bucks before, but no luck today. And then I decided to check out an area midday I hadn't really hunted before. And I spot this guy downhill from me at about 50 yards, and he was just feeding. Set up my rifle, waited for an opening, and then yeah, perfect shot through his shoulder. Yeah, that's it. Now it's time to get to work, breaking him down and pack him out. Alright, well, done breaking down this deer. Got everything packed up. Now I gotta load it up in my pack and hike out of here. Alright, loaded up. Doesn't feel as heavy as my first deer, but still got some weight to it. Alright, well, I got my car all packed up. I'm ready to head out. I'll go find somebody to countersign my tag, and then I'll go home and probably get home at night. So put everything in the fridge and I'll butcher this deer tomorrow.